Yeah, I'm putting on YouTube.
Yeah, make sure
let us know when we're live.
And we're good.
Make sure that the browser is on the screen when you start.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Excuse me.
Are you gonna go?
Go.
We're not live yet. Are we live yet?
We are!
I got this guy
set up.
Welcome,
I'm here. Okay. Welcome back to the Blockey Sports Network. Here we got the playoff matchup between the Surrey Hitmen and the Saskatoon Blues. We're live here in Surrey with your pregame coverage. Tonight, I'm joined by Vasilevsky, the greatest goaltender of all time, and then obviously the greatest player of all time, Youppi. Left to him is Ghosty Ferret, and joining us tonight, guest commentator ZDXW.
What the hell is this?
He's really not happy about that.
The only guest here is you.
But yeah, no, we got a great matchup tonight. Great series loaded up in the BHL Cup playoffs, round 1. And if you want to start us off with some initial thoughts on this upcoming series.
Yeah, sure. So going into the series, these two teams have quite a history. They've played each other in the playoffs twice in the past, which is quite uncommon considering most teams in this league don't last very long. That's hopefully going to change soon. But it is something to note that the Surrey Hitmen are 2-0 in playoff series against the Saskatoon Blues. Obviously, these are totally different rosters than the previous times they met up, but like historically, the Hitmen seem to always best the Blues, and I could definitely see that happening again tonight. On paper, both teams are pretty even. It really depends on which Hitmen team shows up, because we saw the Hitmen perform at an extremely high level early in the season, and kind of as time went on, they seemed to slow down and kind of fall off the top of the standings. And then on the Blues, they started off pretty slow, but as the season went on, they kind of got hot. They got a big win over the Grizzlies. They showed a lot of potential, especially on the defensive end of the game. So really, it's going to depend on which team can get to their prime form for this series, which could be either of them, honestly. I could see the series going either way. And I could see it being extremely close, or I could see it being extremely one-sided. It really just depends.
Yeah, I do agree. And I think the goalie matchup tonight's also very interesting because Luka Duka, he won the Vezina last season, but Spooky Mount looks like he's been a superstar for the Blues. He's won them games. I think the series definitely depends on how Spooky Mount plays, for sure, because they need a big series out of him, in my opinion, to move on. But Luka Duka also hasn't looked as sharp as he has been these last couple of seasons, so that could be something to watch out for as well.
I'm excited because in front of us we have a rare sporting opportunity. Sorry, gentlemen. Very rare. 2 chronic chokers. Sammy the Whale and Konechny face off tonight.
Oh, true. They're
I do. I love the narrative, ZD, but let's not be too negative before the game. But I like the narrative.
Which the less?
I do think that maybe Konechny gets a little bit too much flack for his choking. I feel like he's more of like will miss a shot, but like he does seem to get this job done in playoff series most of the time. He's made his fair share of finals appearances, and it really wasn't like it was his fault when he lost. And I mean, same with the Whale. I mean, yeah, he's kind of just like a walking brick. So I think that's kind of just Ben. I wouldn't even consider him a choker. I think that's just kind of like how he is in general. But I love the narrative, ZD. I do think that this game this series as a whole could come down to Spooky Mount's performance, as he's shown in previous matches that he can take over a game and kind of win a game by himself. Obviously with the help of a great defender and Gorius in front of him, but that's it takes a special goalie to play the type of way he does and do it consistently day in and day out. So if anybody disagrees with that take, I don't think anyone will, because he's him.
Chuck, you're a goalie. I mean, what do you kind of think about that?
It's definitely going to be interesting because, like everybody's been saying, this series definitely depends on how Spooky Mount plays, but more so, I think it's definitely going to be a battle of if Young Dog can get back to his form of Vezina finalist, Vezina winner, because, like somebody touched on earlier, he hasn't been as good this season. I think Spooky Mountain has clearly shown that he's significantly better, but it's the playoffs, and we haven't seen. I don't think we've seen a good Luka Duka in the playoffs, if I can recall correctly.
I'd also like to add, this is a little unrelated to the goaltending. Glad the bot. This is not a negotiation. It's $100 or nothing to get into Adventure. This is not up for debate. I don't even know if he's here. But I would like to kind of move away from the goaltending and talk about the fact that both of these teams do have some forwards and some players on the team that have had a past of being extremely successful point scorers, but this season they kind of slowed down significantly. I think the main one that sticks out to me would be Connect Me on the Blues. I mean, he still was his team's leading point scorer, I believe, but I mean, nothing's crazy compared to previous seasons. Spoiled milk there as well. And then on the other end, it was Farabee and R-Doggy for the Hitmen. They were both great point scorers last season. I won't say that they didn't perform this season, but they definitely weren't the franchise superstars that some people thought they could have been this regular season. So if any of those players I mentioned can really get back to form the series, they could be a major X factor.
I also think, adding to those players, I think that Clifford needs to find a next level because going back to the last playoffs, he was very good at playing off of his teammate. This regular season with Surrey, he hasn't done as well, and he's been underperforming hella. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see. And
I don't really want to air out too much behind the scenes info, but there was a point earlier in the season where Clifford was being shopped by the Hitmen due to that inability to play around his teammates and the inability for Surrey to kind of figure out their roles and the structure they wanted for their lines, just due to the players they had on the team. So it is going to be very interesting to see if Clifford can mesh into their system and what lines they are going to play, because their whole roster is here, plus some of their subs, including Moya. So they really can do whatever they want to make the best lines they think they can. And also the Blues. Wait, go on.
I was gonna just say, I've heard around that Surrey is trying to find some new lines. They've tried to find some new lines, so we're gonna be seeing some new lines from Surrey's side of things tonight.
That's interesting.
I believe they're splitting up R-Doggy and Farabee.
Which I think is going to be interesting to see if R-Doggy and Farabee can make chances on their own. Not to throw shade at them, but we haven't seen either of them play without a star player on their line, and God knows how long. Farabee being duoed up with Alex Adar for basically his whole career, and R-Doggy playing with Ghosty Ferret for the last few seasons, playing a little bit with Tengo, Luke a long time ago. Basically every season, those players have both had a great line mate to kind of pick up the slack where they were maybe letting their own team down. But it's definitely a possibility this game to see if those two players can kind of blossom on their own and do it without help.
I'm looking at Farabee to kind of take over.
I think Farabee has the most to prove here.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I've watched him throughout his whole career, he's always been that superstar potential, that franchise player potential, and I'm looking to see if he can really take over this series and prove us right. I think now we have a minute before game time. Let's go to our score predictions, starting from Chokington, and then we'll move on.
I don't think Choke should do a prediction. He is tonight's official.
Oh.
Yeah, true.
Good point. Didn't know that. Zeddy, we'll start with you then.
I'm going to take... First, are we doing series or just one game?
Just one game.
This game, I'm going to take the Hitmen 4-2.
Game one, I just scrimmed against the players. I'm sorry, I cut off Ghost Ferret if he was about to do his. I wasn't paying attention. Saskatoon, 3-zip.
No, I'm also going with Saskatoon. I'm going a 4-1 win for Saskatoon. I think Surrey will outshoot Saskatoon, though, but I think Spooky Mountain's going to have himself
Alright, Chokington, get out there, pal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Take the warm-up lap, Choke.
For joining us. I'm going to take, I was in that scrim as well. I'm going to take Saskatoon 3-1.
Well.
And, we will thank you guys for joining us here at the Craft 8 Sports Desk. It's game time here in Surrey, and we will see you in just a few seconds for our play-by-play coverage.
I don't think we're moving at all.
Yeah. Well,
Alright.
we're moving the camera. But
Alright.
Z, we'll pass up to ZD. Here we go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the event of the night. The Surrey Hitmen hosting the Saskatoon Blues face-off. Won by our doggy. He's trying to work it in through the ref circle. Denied by Gorius. He takes it up. Shot gets past the dog. He scores! What is the dog doing? What is Luka Duka doing?
I mean,
Great chance there off the opening face-off by Gorius. He strips it from our doggy, trying to get a shot off the rip. Brings it across the blue line, takes a shot from deep, and Luka Duka just can't seem to handle it. And also, we're getting to see the new lines on display here. Berto XD on the first line for the Blues, which I think some people expected, but it is still surprising to see it in action.
Yeah.
Not the start you wanted.
No, and Berto does have the ghosty ferret glitch. I don't know if that's an advantage or disadvantage. He's got an NPC somewhere. Shot saved by Spooky Mount. Our doggy recovers, but hit away by Gorius. Knocked back in deep by Whale. And their Hitmen are just content with a trap play. Up by the benches, cutting through the neutral zone. Berto XD does. Denied by Whale. Hit back into the zone. I'm going to go into Team Fan. Oh my goodness. Oh, I am lagging. Is anybody else lagging?
I'm
Good.
Okay, it might be because I was trying to get in the thing. But, I digress. In the corner, our doggy and Gorius going at it. Hard to say who's winning this battle, but it looks like, well, Gorius has the upper hand right now, but our doggy hounding him like the dog he is. Tries center, denied by Gorius up the near side. Gorius unable to get it out to start. Good recovery by our doggy. Cuts through. Tough angle shot. Glove save by Spooky Mount, who's back on the goal line.
I mean, if you're the Hitman, you need better shots than that. Spooky Mount is going to save that shot 10 out of 10 times. And he's proved that throughout the regular season.
He has been a stud for the Blues. Definitely a game saver for them in some situations. Second line's out for both teams. The Hitmen running Clifford 82 and Fairby, while the Blues counter with Spoiled Milk and Konechny, who's picked up defense after being a long tenured forward. And oh my goodness, it's like a slideshow for me. But we're good now. Spoiled Milk in the corner, can't get a shot off, denied by Fairby, who hits it up past Milk. Fairby works it out. They have a mini 2-on-1, but puck goes out of play. We'll have a draw near side, or face-off dot nearest the Blues bench. And one thing to keep in mind with Spooky Mount, the goalie, he is great at pinging, but his positioning, although it's good, is definitely not as good as his pinging. And that wasn't a foul? Huh? I'm lagging my...
Jim's gonna sleep and it's all good. Good chance
right.
there. Oh!
Denied. Milk's got a break now. Hit too far up. Luka Duka cleared away by the Hitman. Konechny works it back in. Jumps over the puck. It's out. Hitman trying to work it in the zone. But Milk's there to deny. And now we have a face-off right in front of the Hitman bench.
I definitely think the Blues are playing a little bit better. Hitmen kind of picked it up since that first initial error they made. It's interesting that Fairby's on the second on the line.
I don't know if that's an error by the skaters necessarily. More an error. Goal error. In comes Clifford, but Spoiled Milk there with a nice defensive breakup. Konechny in the near corner. Works it up past Clifford. Gets it past Fairby, but cannot stay with the puck. And, back into the O-zone for the Hitmen. But that is short-lived. Fairby, nice steal on Milk. Centers it. Can't get a shot off. Konechny working through the ref circle. Into the zone. Can he get a tough angled shot off? Yes, he can. Easy save for Luka Duka. I don't think I'm going to be able to commentate this for how I'm lagging. Oh my god.
You're looking at your ping. Oh my god.
Yeah, can somebody take over for me?
LHD is DDoSing you to cancel our production. It's fucked up.
Also, I feel like there's some haters in the chat for Young Dog here.
Yeah,
It's just Isaac. It's just Isaac.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. Does anyone else want to take over while ZD's figuring
Do you want to? I'm reffing right now for the show because Whistle was broken.
Alright,
interesting change. First line out for both teams. Gorius now tries to get out, but our doggy nice steal pulls it back into the zone, working in the corner against Gorius. Him and Gorius going at it. Our doggy, it's hard to tell if he's looking for a pass. Tough angle shot, hits the post, cleared away by Spooky Mount. Guy in the net, our doggy's trying to cook something up in Gretzky's office. Centers it. I don't know if that was he was trying to pass that or continue going. The Whale recovers, P3's it up. Our doggy is nowhere to be found. Berto XD's there. Our doggy steals it though. In the corner, Berto whacks our doggy, probably well deserved. Our doggy now trying to make something happen against Gorius, but Gorius gets the better of that. Sammy the Whale gets the better of him though. Our doggy playing it safe, bring it back. P3's it up for Whale. Whale coming up. Denied by Berto. Berto coming up. Can he get a shot off? He does, and he scores. What a goal.
I mean, our dog, he's looked quite well in the forecheck this game, but the defense, when the Blues can break the puck out, the defense just is not there for the Hitmen. And obviously Luka Duka is, well, he's struggling.
He's
2 shots, 2 goals for, and I'd say those are 2 soft goals as well for his caliber of goalie.
Yeah, the first one definitely should never have gone in because he had plenty of time to get in and clear it. But the Hitmen are now in a 2-0 deficit, and Farabee and Clifford back out for the Hitmen, while Gorius and Berto remain out. Spooky Mount hits it to the half boards, pass out to Farabee. Everybody whiffs. Everybody whiffs again. And Berto, trying to dance through the neutral zone, is having a little bit of troubles, but gets past Farabee, hits it up. Clifford's there, denies a shot. Moya might be getting a pen here soon. Pretty sure you can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Berto with a great chance here, though. And, I mean, if the period winds down, it's just Luka Duka hasn't looked good so far.
not at all.
The first goal in the first 10 seconds of the game, that is not how you want to start a playoff series. That was rough. And then, obviously, you go to that second goal. It was a good shot, in my opinion. It was positioned quite well, but it was slow. And in the playoffs, you need to save those because you have two great teams here. You never know what's going to happen, but you need to keep your team in the game. You need to try to save those types of shots if you can.
Yeah,
for
Surrey
sure.
needs to wake up. I'm hoping for the sake of entertainment that Surrey kind of gets their act together. Looks like they're switching the lines up. They got Ardoghi and Farabee lining up here for the second period, which is interesting to see. Looks like they might be trying to go top heavy to get some more scoring opportunities and get back in this game quickly.
I definitely agree with this decision right here.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, and the Hitmen definitely need a lot more shots. 3 only after 1 period. Berto works it in the zone against Farabee. Nobody comes out with it out of the corner, but Farabee recovers. Berto hits it up for Farabee. Delay penalty, Sass. We're going to have our first power play. Berto XD in the box for tripping. I didn't see it, but I think it's because I am lagging.
Hey, this is your chance here, if you're Surrey, to get back on the board quickly and make this a hockey game.
What is this face-off setup?
You need to convert here.
What is his face-off setup? Gorius wins the draw, and he's looking just to kill time. But Ardoghi gains possession, but he gets it right out to Gorius, who can now kill another 5 seconds. Farabee, P3's cross. Gorius has a chance after a big turnover, and Luka Duka's first save of the night. Wow, it took over a period for that to happen. Pass across, Farabee's got a chance. Doesn't shoot, hits in the middle, cleared away by Gorius.
That is not a good play there from Farabee. You need to try to shoot that a little sooner. I mean, you had all day there, and you didn't do anything.
Ardoghi, P3's cross. Berto out of the box, takes it away from Farabee, who cannot get a shot off. Ardoghi working up the near side with Gorius on him. Ardoghi trying this stuff, walking out of the corner to get a shot off, and I just don't think that's going to be successful against Spooky Mount.
I agree, and Gorius is a tough defender. He's very good at pinging, and that type of style is going to be struggling with him.
Berto comes in and he scores.
And
my goodness.
This Hitman team is just not here tonight, right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Young Dog is nowhere to be found.
This is just not his night.
To be fair to Luka Duka, Surrey did just let Berto walk half the ice.
They did. I mean, like I said earlier, Ardoghi's been solid on the forecheck, but when it gets breaking out, there's no defense.
Oh, Berto almost gets an opportunity right off the center ice draw. Pinged away by Fairby. Oh, Berto's got a break. Another save by Luka Duka.
Dangerous rebound,
Second of
though.
the night.
Very dangerous rebound.
And Fairby cutting through the neutral zone. Puts it on net. Spooky him out.
Routine.
Plays it. He gloved it and decided to play it. Fairby, though, steals that puck. Him and Gorius are just going at each other in the corner. Oh, nice keep by the Hitmen. Oh, I am now a middle school PowerPoint. Oh, my ping's 352. Lovely. Wales back out on the ice.
Second line
Clifford and
dagger.
Whale now. This will be interesting to see.
This is a very interesting line, as Samuel he's a decent defender, but Clifford has not been playing well with him this season, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
I'm assuming the play's not by the benches right now.
No, it's right next to you. All right, Sailor up the wing. Pass across. Clifford shot wide. And just missed that one. That was a good opportunity there by set up of Sammy the Whale. Along the near side boards. Connecting now with it. Takes it towards the middle. Looks for Spoiled Milk up the wing. Sammy though there to defend it on the back check. Turns it around. Up for Clifford out on the breakout. Cacti's there and will clear it back into Saskatoon's end. Clifford cutting toward the middle. Speaking out with a nice clear to prevent that from doing any damage. Nick now working with Clifford. Clifford, forechecking, cutting towards behind the net. Nick's able to gather it. And moves up the wing. Out for Spoiled Milk now. Milk shooting! And he scores.
My goodness.
Fourth goal on his sixth shot. On the Blues' sixth shot, sorry.
The Blues have as many goals as Surrey has shots.
This is not what I expected.
Not at all. I wonder, if you're Surrey, I'll cut you off. If you try to put your first line on the second line and see if they can kind of take over that way and get some goals on the board, but it's not looking good right now.
Oh man, the post has to be another goal.
Oh man.
I think at this point, if you're the Hitmen, it's 5-0. In the second, I think in my opinion, you just count this game as a wash, and you just try to switch it up.
Yeah, you look to game 2 now. You just kind of finish the game and look to game 2.
You want to use this period in roughly 2 minutes that they have here to just test things out, see what's going to work for them for game 2. Because if they play like this in game 2, their season's over. And a great move there though, but just misses the net. Because already now you want the forecheck and Spoiled Milk, and Gorius and Spoiled Milk on the ice. I'm assuming Spoiled Milk still has a chance to LC, but he's gonna take a rough LC and just a whiff. It is just not their night. I don't know what to say. It's a weak shot there from Gorius. It's just not Hitman's night tonight, from what it looks. Nope. They have shown to be pretty inconsistent in the regular season, but I don't think to this degree, as they had some rough losses against teams like the Outlaws, who are very good teams. And this team started out 5-0, which is crazy. It really shows that they kind of had a drop off, but you would still think that their contenders are fairly trying to get some action here, walking around in the neutral zone, going up for our dog. He's gonna try to work a forecheck, but it's instantly kicked out, and they can't back check. And
wow! I didn't know Berto still had that in him.
As the LHB moves are getting busted out here, there's a little pullback, quick tap right into the net.
You gotta just. I think this game's a wash. But I think they should try Fairby and our doggy on the second line, see if they can kind of do anything. But
I agree. You need to try something new here.
And you're hoping Luka Duka into game 2 can get warmed up here. Because you got it, and I imagine they'll do a little bit better next game, considering it's all or nothing. But have an experiment here. Just like you said.
I think you need to use this time to experiment, and if you see something and you get a goal or two late into the third period, you go, hey, that was working. So let's try this in game 2 and see what we can do with this, and force the Blues to try to make a change. But with what they're doing right now, and Konechny hasn't even scored a goal tonight so far. And
Berto's been impressive.
obviously. But here's going to be a good chance here to end the period, as a shot that just goes just wide hits the post. But, yeah, in the second, 6-0 Blues.
Not only are Fairby and Ardoggy not taking over, they're getting cooked too. So that's not it's not a good sign from your superstars, the guys that you're supposed to be putting your team up on the mantle here. And I mean, Berto has been impressive. I'd say he's been the most impressive player for me so far, and I didn't really expect that from him.
Yeah,
and Gore has been doing his job as well.
He's been doing his job, but the Hitmen are gonna run out Ardoggy and Fairby here to start the third. But I just disagree with this. I think you should try. Maybe Moyan staying with the whale on the first line.
Yeah.
Clifford
can do.
Clifford hasn't been getting it done in my opinion. He's looked okay to start this game, but you need to change something up. It is 6-0. Shots are 10-4. They're outscoring the amount of shots you have, which you obviously never want to see that, but it's going down 1-0 in a 3-game series. It's not what you want, obviously.
Yeah.
Putting them in a very tough spot, getting dominated obviously, because the Blues now, their confidence is high, which I think is very important for any team. If they want to win, you need to have a lot of confidence, and for me, their confidence has to be at an all-time high.
Definitely agree.
And I'm just like, if you're the Hitman, what are you thinking right now?
I mean, if I'm Moya, obviously you're not going to win this game at all. It's 5 minutes in the third, so pretty much what we've already said, but they seem to not really give a shit, and they're just going to keep the same shit out, especially against Berto and Gores, who have been their strongest players this game. I think you should definitely have switched the lines up going to this period to see if you can try to test Spooky Mount more on the second line against that weaker pairing so far, which has been Spoiled Milk and Nick. But, I mean, this Ardoggy and Fairby, though, they're both forwards and puck-heavy kind of players, and it's just not working out. Fairby has not been what I've expected him to be. Neither is Ardoggy, and
I mean,
they're getting outmatched.
Both of these players are known for having great defenders on their line. Obviously, you have Fairby playing with Alex and R for a lot of his career. Ardoggy playing with Luke, Ghostly Ferret, and Tango. When Tango played defense with him, he played quite well. But so it's like you said, two forwards. I think they're kind of clashing because they both want to have the puck. They both want to be taking it up themselves and trying to score. Both players used to looking for passes, and as this is going to go off the post, this could be another chance, but it's just gloved up just in time with a late hit there.
Late aggression there by Berto. And another thing I'll comment. I mean, especially since Luka Duka, it seems to be tonight, he's not going to really bail you out. He's probably gonna make the saves, the basic ones, but he does not seem to be on his game where he's making those desperation saves, which is kind of what you need in a playoff series. That can often make the difference between two very evenly matched teams. And tonight he just doesn't really have it, so that's another thing. I mean, these goals aren't his fault most of the time, but usually you kind of want your goalie in the playoffs to be able to steal a few.
I mean, the defense obviously hasn't been very strong for them tonight. There's been multiple occasions where the Blues just take a crit chain and walk down the ice without it getting back checked, but you would hope that, Luka Duka can steal a couple of those at the very least, as a shot here from Fairby gets gloved up by Spooky Mount, a relatively easy save for him. Especially for this goaltender, with another weak shot just right into the feet of him. For Spooky Mount, and a big hit there from Fairby, but that will be a penalty, giving the Blues a power play. But like I was saying, for him making his playoff debut, you want to test him, you want to get shots on him, and they just haven't been able to even get shots.
Yeah.
I don't think he's played amazing. I think he's just making the routine saves.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really had. I haven't really counted any serious scoring opportunities for the Hitmen here. And I mean that could be interesting. I mean, if they somehow light up in the second game, Spooky Mounts hasn't really been tested yet. He's kind of still cold in a sense. So
that's true.
We could see some weaker goals go in if the Hitmen could somehow wake up in the second game. But I mean, it's looking pretty grim for them. Unless they are able to just mentally reset totally, which is what you need to do in this situation. But I'm not sure if they have that in them. That kind of will, because they're not even being any experimental. I mean, it's kind of a mismanagement thing as well. But
Very aggressive penalty kill from Ardoggy, but it's not going to really cost him. And that,
God, that is.
yeah, so the clock will be running now, 7-0. He unshifted, and it's just that's not what you want. Ideally, if you're the Hitman, you want to end this game, not letting up a goal in this third period. Maybe even being able to score one or two. But if you're going into game 2 with Luka letting those types of goals, I don't like your chances to win. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's like JBHL level. I mean this is a former Vezina winner, and that's just disappointing to see. Oh my.
As he accidentally pees to it back. It seems like nothing's going right for them this game.
This is rough. I was one of the entertaining series here, and I really hope game 2 is a lot different. I really do, but this is disastrous.
I mean, I'd love to see a game 3, but yeah, no, for sure. This is just.
Looks like the haters in the chat of Luka Duka are kind of right now. I don't know. I mean, he kind of is a bum right now.
I mean,
it's something you hate to see.
You could say he's having a down season this season after winning the Vezina last season, but he won that Vezina for carrying his team into a playoff spot, you could argue, and just doing what he did so great. But
I mean, I want to say that maybe he's given up. Maybe he just kind of gave up for this game, and he'll lock back in for game 2. That's what I hope. I'm really being hopeful here for the Hitmen, because I want to see a good series. I want to see them compete. I think this team is a lot better than this, and I think we all know that. Farabee, though, for one, looks lost. I mean, this is not the player I used to see, and that I'm used to. Clifford, I'm not really sure his role. They're even putting Boy out now, finally. I mean, changing something up, at least.
Farabee was obviously a big part of that Highlanders team last season. And they looked well. He looked pretty well in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously, I don't believe he scored in the finals, but he had a decent first round, I believe. And even winning a ring the season before was being the Grizzlies' 5th man on that stag team. Still winning a ring. So he's been to finals. He's been to, I think, 3 finals in a row. Actually,
he's on the Huskies. He's part of that team, that dominant Huskies team. He's one of the best players, or was the best players mechanically. And that's something that I think gives him the ability to kind of take over when he needs to. But I mean, he has not been able to do that this season. It seems to me a lot of these guys that we're used to this season, Luka Duka, Farabee, even guys on other teams, just seem kind of a little bit disinterested compared to their past seasons. And that's kind of something I hate to see. Goalie's out now, and Splitmokes is gonna get another one. Just
a little disrespectful.
That's
I mean, for
disrespectful.
sure. As he's gonna get the hat trick here in his, I think this is playoff debut.
Yeah. But we're gonna head over to Saskatoon now. Got about 5 minutes till game time, and we're gonna get you back here at the pregame sports desk. We hopefully
might be able to get a couple post-game interviews here.
Yeah. We have time.
Yeah, we have like 5 minutes.
Okay. Let me head back to Surrey.
Time out here real quick.
I want to get Moya here if we can.
No, I don't think they really want to talk after losing.
Yeah, probably.
About damn time.
Are they all at SAS? They're all at SAS. There's no point.
Yeah. Let's just go to the desk.
We're going to go to Saskatoon for game 2, everybody. Thank you for listening in as the Blues win 8-0 here in game 1. We'll see you in about 5 minutes here.
Yo, what did
Let's get Choke back in the booth here.
Yeah, he's coming.
Oh,